welcome back to part 2 of my headstands for beginners. Last time we did some inverted strength and conditioning, working on engaging our shoulders, our upper backs, through our arms and the positioning of our hands. Today we're going to take all of those learnings and put them into an actual headstand and work together on building the strength, the stability, and then the different entries into those. So you don't need anything at all today other than some space on the floor, a mat if you have one. If you want to practice this by a wall for confidence, then feel free. If not, you can grab some pillows, a crash mat, whatever you want, and just come and join me in a kneeling position on the mat. So the first thing we're going to go through today is all of this is for a supported headstand. I'm not going to teach the tripod one with the hands flat on the floor. We're going to hold the head in our hands and go through our forearms rather than the hands. So this is just better and safer for your necks, and it will help you build all the strength and stability that you need for those more progressive inversions later on. So it's going to be much more beneficial for your practice. So to start with, the positioning, you need to think of that same tripod setup, but your hands are your head and your elbows are where your hands would be. So think about that dolphin pose that we did last time. You can measure the distance with using your forearms. So just simply overlap your arms like so, find your elbow position on the ground, and then you've got your tripod here where your hands join, and you're going to interlink your fingers. Tuck your pinky fingers in, because when they go on the crown of your head, if you were to roll over and come out of your headstand the other way, if your fingers get stuck that way, they're going to snap backwards and it's going to hurt a little bit. So think about tucking those pinky fingers inwards. That position of your hands is then going to sit on the crown of your head. So where my ponytail is, my thumbs kind of wrap around it, and the whole crown of my head is in my hands. So we're aiming to get 80% of our body weight through our arms and our elbows. So more importantly, think about keeping your elbows engaged in the floor. And then about 20% will be on your forehead that will be touching the ground ever so gently. So once you've found that set up, remembering to tuck those pinky fingers in, you're going to simply just lift your bum up in the air and walk your feet in to that dolphin kind of position that we were finding last week. We're not going to go and lift both legs up straight away. What I want you to learn is control. So we're going to lift one leg up, tuck it right in, find that balance and push the bum above the head so the hips are above the shoulders, and find that tipping point. So your other foot should always feel weightless. And then come back down with that leg, switch over and find the same on the other leg. So just do that 3 times on each side, taking your own time. And then just come back down onto your knees, relax off your head, and we'll go on to the next stage. So you found that kind of tipping point. You might have felt like your other foot wants to come off the ground now. So we're going to gently start to lift that other foot. We're not going to take it up yet. We're just going to gently lift it off the floor. So come back into your setup, get comfortable in this position. I know it feels weird on your fingers sometimes. Find that stacked position, tuck one leg up, lift the other leg. So really squeeze your core to find that lift. And again, tuck the other leg up and lift. So you're just going to switch over 3 times each side. And then come back down onto your knees and rest in child's position. So just whenever you need to take a rest, feel free to do that. So once you've got your confidence, some of you might want to just stay there and practice that for a while. Once you've got your confidence, you can then begin to start to tuck both legs up once you've found that lift. So you're going to come back into that position, walk the feet in, tuck one leg up, and then tuck the other leg up. So there should be no need to kick up. You just simply step up and step down and then try the other way. See if you can hold and come back down. So that's the next stage. So try and find that tuck. You should be able to tuck both legs up without having to lift or kick off the floor. It should just be engaging your core muscles to simply lift the foot and tuck it back up tight into the stomach. So you need to find that stacked position with your head, your shoulders and your hips all in one line, and then find that compression with the tuck to lift the legs off the floor and hold them in there. So It's a full body workout, guys. It's not just simply balancing on your head. So from here, once you've got comfortable with that tuck position, you then will want to start to extend the legs upwards. So you find that tuck, and then just simply see if you can lift the legs so you come to a 90-degree angle, and then tuck the legs back down. And this is going to help you find that stability in the base, because once you've got the stability to do this, you can start to do anything you want with your legs. And then slowly come back down. Try and always land with control. Try to make it silent when you land, and that way you really know that you are fully controlling that landing all the way back down. So maybe do 5 to 6 of those lifts, just pulling, you're finding then how to move the body, so using the bum to go backwards over the head to allow the legs to kind of counteract with that weight. And then once you've got your legs into that tuck, you can start thinking about extending them. So now we're going to work our way all the way up into a full headstand. So you're going to come back up as we did just then, using that tuck entry. So walk the feet all the way in, find that stuck position, tuck one leg up, tuck the other leg up, find your tuck, lift to that halfway thing, pause, and then you can start to extend your legs. At this point, you really want to engage your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs, point your toes high towards the ceiling. So try and bring your heels back behind you and really squeeze everything tight. So you're pressing up through your armpits, through your forearms, but you're also squeezing your lower body as well to help control. And then slowly come back down into that tuck and lower. So that's one, or the most common method of entry. You've then also got pike and straddle as different entries too. So straddle's probably the next easiest one. Again, all these entries, we are not kicking off the ground, we are not forcing ourselves up, because the minute you put force into it, you then have a lot more to control at the top. We want to be able to have the strength and stability to just lift the body with control all the way up and then all the way back down. So always try and make sure that you're not jumping or crashing back and down into these things. So for the straddle one, you're simply going to find that setup, but rather than have your feet here, you're going to take them out to the side, wherever that allows you with your mobility. And it's the same again, so walk your feet all the way in, you can tuck one up, tuck the other up, and go up that way. Or you can try and keep your legs straight and come all the way up to standing, or not standing, headstand, and find the position, and then split the legs again, and come all the way back down. See how close you can get. And if you can stand back up, that's a really good kind of drill for mobility and for strength as well. So for pike, it's a similar thing again, but the legs are obviously directly behind. You're in a kind of narrower position or stance, so it is going to feel a bit more unsteady, and it will require a lot more kind of core, center core strength. So again, you're finding your setup with your hands. Everything's always the same at the bottom. It's just simply the entry level. So just walk your feet all the way into that tuck position. Rather than bending the legs now though, we're going to lift the legs off the floor straight to bring them all the way up into that headstand position. Hold there for as long as you want, and then slowly see if you can control it all the way back down without crash landing onto your toes, and then relax. So have a go with all those entries. Pause this video, see what you feel good with. If you need any tips, then feel free to message Floatality on social media, so at Floatality UK, and I'll be happy to help. After all headstand practices, you should always release off the neck. So a good pose to do this with is plow pose. So you're just going to come straight onto your backs, come up into a shoulder stand, and then allow the feet to drop behind you. Your neck should be nice and long. You shouldn't feel any kind of pinching or constriction in the neck at all. And just take a few deep breaths here. Your hands can either go either side or back onto your hips, wherever they need to be. Hold for 3 breaths. Or 5 if you want to hold a bit longer. And then slowly unravel yourself and come all the way back down. We'll take a quick Apanasana, hugging the knees in towards the chest, and then just allow the toes to balance on the floor. And we'll do a few window wipers. So take the heels off the floor, hands go out to the side, palms flat down, shoulders glued to the floor, and just drop the hips or the knees either side, washing the legs from side to side, maybe about 5 times each side. Just release off the spine. Last one each side. And then you can slowly come into a Savasana if you want to, or come up to seated and finish your practice there.